Yesterday, the Daily Meal, using data from Uber Eats, listed what meal is the most popular to be ordered via takeout right now in each state. And I am here to tell you what that meal says about your state. Arizona, Florida, South Carolina, Illinois, and Virginia all had French fries. French fries. What this tells me about your state is you're okay to die. I admit that those first five weren't that surprising, that French fries was their number one, but there was a sixth that snuck in there, with French fries being their favorite. My home state, Washington. What this tells me about Washington is now we know your true colors, because in public, it's all eaten clean. It's salmon, it's free-range chicken, it's organic, whatever, but not at home. When you're locked at home, you're just like the rest of us. You just want a greasy cardboard box full of potato sticks. Next up, Indiana. Indiana, French fries? Freedom fries? Indiana's pick, waffle fries. What that tells me about Indiana is that the Chick-fil-A's are still open. California, where I live now, the number one thing being ordered via takeout, chicken tikka masala. What does that tell me about California? Is that even in private, you order pretentious food. Colorado, carne asada fries. God bless you, Colorado. What a pick. Now, my first instinct was, yeah, of course, Colorado, potheads, carne asada fries, it all makes sense. But then one other state has the same most popular food, and it's their neighbor. It's Utah. And those two are next to each other, but they are nothing alike. This just speaks to the power of carne asada fries that can bring hippie potheads and Mormons together. Two groups that can bond only over carne asada fries and adults that ride bicycles, but for very different missions. Moving to the Northeast, we have Connecticut, whose most popular item is a burrito bowl. A burrito bowl. This just shows that Connecticut, for the life of them, cannot be cool. They're almost cool. They were just right there. Hey, what's the most popular thing? A burrito bowl. Up next, we have 5 states that have the same one: Georgia, Kentucky, Michigan, Tennessee, and Texas. Hear those again: Georgia, Kentucky, Michigan, Tennessee, and Texas. What food would unite these 5 states together? 4 in the South, and Michigan being one of the great blue-collar states in America. Maybe barbecue or hamburgers. No. It's pad thai. I guess this tells me that you're just sitting home wishing maybe you'd have traveled a little more. Just want the Uber Eats guy to come deliver you a little bowl of culture. Also, thinking about it, pad thai is pretty easy to chew, and some of these states lack teeth. Kentucky. Now, out in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, Hawaii's number one takeout order is the barbecue mix plate. Your number one takeout order is also your number one food export that we all eat everywhere. God, that is brand consistency that none of the other states could match. Smack dab in the middle of the country, we have Iowa. And Iowa's number one takeout, a poke bowl. What this tells me about some of my favorite people, Iowans, is that you are taking this opportunity to try something new. Good for you, Iowa. Good for you. And man, I wish I could be on that phone call when you call those restaurants and you order a Pokemon bowl. Oh. Louisiana, chips and queso. Didn't see that coming, but what that reminds me is that crawfish doesn't package well. And what this tells me about Louisiana? Plain and simple. You have the best taste. There is no food on earth better than chips and queso. If you could 100% guarantee me that I wouldn't get coronavirus provided I never ate queso the rest of my life, I would not take that deal. I would say, you give me that COVID queso, and I'm gonna die of a heart attack first. In Maine, it's cheese pozzo bread. And if you're not familiar with cheese pozzo bread, you are. It's just called cheese bread. Maine just tries to call it cheese pozzo bread because Maine's always trying to seem a little cooler than they are. In Maryland, it's the egg, bacon, and cheese breakfast sandwich. As if I couldn't love you enough already, Maryland. What this tells me about Maryland is this is legitimately their favorite food, because we're all sleeping in now, which means they're getting up and they're having this for lunch or for dinner, maybe a little dessert bacon sandwich. That is commitment, and I applaud you for it. Massachusetts, burritos. Burritos is their number one. What this tells me about Massachusetts is they are not handling the departure of Tom Brady well. They are eating a lot of carbs and feelings. Moving on to Minnesota, where their number one is garlic naan bread. What this tells me about Minnesota is they're always a little cooler than I give them credit for. Just when you think it's all snowstorms and bad accents, you remember that this is where Prince is from. Yeah, Prince, who is kind of the garlic naan bread of musicians. I don't know why that makes sense, but you know it does. Next up, Missouri and Wisconsin share a number one takeout order, and I bet you didn't guess it. It's crab rangoon. I think that's how you say it, crab rangoon. It is a crab-based Chinese food dish. Right, because when you think Missouri and Wisconsin, you think Chinese people and great seafood. Montana, they're number one, enchiladas. I admit I didn't see it coming, and I've thought about it, and I think the reason is because enchiladas is the only Spanish word they know. Nevada's number one is a chicken teriyaki bowl, which makes all the sense in the world because a chicken teriyaki bowl is like Las Vegas. It's a good thing that you probably have once a year. Out of New York, it's jerk chicken. Jerk. New York, honestly, that one kind of writes itself. North Carolina's number one is nachos. This tells me that North Carolinians have made peace with their God and are ready to die at home. Ohio has one of their favorite foods, nacho fries. If you're not familiar with nacho fries, it is fries and bacon and cheese. It's cheesy fries. You know about cheesy fries. Much like North Carolina, this tells me that Ohioans are ready to go. It also tells me they're watching a lot of news because they don't want to be here for the pressure of being a swing state in November. Oh man, those debates. Out in Oklahoma, it's the spicy tuna roll. Yeah. Sushi in Oklahoma. This tells me that Oklahoma is not good at geography and doesn't know how far away they are from an ocean. Up in the Northwest in Oregon, it is fried chicken. That's right, fried chicken. This tells me that Oregon is finally embracing their identity of being the South of the Northwest. I'm telling you, outside of Portland, this is a weird state. It is the only place you find NASCAR-loving Democrats. Out in Pennsylvania, their number one, you guessed it, the cheesesteak. What does this tell me about Pennsylvania? Pennsylvania, over and over, does not care what you think about them. We have cheesesteaks, we boo our own teams, and we're never gonna fix the Liberty Bell. And finally, everybody's favorite state, Rhode Island. And Rhode Island's number one, hot dogs. Really, Rhode Island? Hot dogs? Hot dogs. You don't get a joke. But whatever, I'm just one guy, and I've only been to 47 of the 50 states anyways. You tell me in the comments where I'm wrong and what your favorite food actually says about your state.